If I woke up tomorrow with $0, zero connections, and had to rebuild wealth from scratch in 2026, I wouldn't do what they taught you in school. I wouldn't work hard and save money. I wouldn't chase promotions. I wouldn't follow the rules, because the rules are designed to keep you functional, not free. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact 15-pillar blueprint I'd use to retire by 2030, 5 years from now. Not maybe retire, not retire comfortably if everything goes right. Retire, period. Let's architect this. Welcome to the salary trap. Here's what nobody tells you about your paycheck. It's not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to keep you just comfortable enough that you don't quit. Your salary covers rent, so you have a place to sleep before your next shift, food, so you have energy to work, transportation, so you can get to work, maybe some Netflix, so you're entertained enough not to revolt. You're not building a life, you're renting one, from your employer, month to month, paycheck to paycheck. And here's the part that'll make you angry. The system is rigged from the start. It's called the Cantillon Effect, and it's the reason the wealth gap isn't closing, it's accelerating. When governments print money, who gets it first? Banks, corporations, the already wealthy. They buy assets, stocks, real estate, businesses before prices rise. By the time that money reaches you as a salary, rent's already up 15%, groceries cost more, gas costs more. You arrive late to the party and all the good stuff is gone. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. You can switch sides, not by working harder, not by grinding, but by understanding the architecture of wealth. Workers trade time for money. Architects build systems that generate money while they sleep. And I'm about to hand you the blueprint. This isn't theory. This is the exact 15-pillar system I'd deploy if I had to start over in 2026. We're going to compress what traditionally takes 30 years into 5 years by shifting from effort-driven growth to momentum-driven growth. Here's the timeline. Years 1 to 2, the foundation, the invisible years where you plant seeds. Years 3 to 5, the multiplication, where your returns begin to rival your contributions. Year 5, the explosion, when your money makes more than your job does. By 2030, you're not asking for permission to take vacation. You're deciding if you even want to work. Let's break it down phase by phase. Phase 1, Level 0, the neural reprogramming. Before you can build wealth, you need to reprogram your financial operating system. Most people fail at wealth building not because they don't earn enough, but because their brain has been trained to see money as scarce and savings as sacrifice. We are going to rewire that. Pillar 1, the $25 habit. Every single time money hits your account, paycheck, gig work, freelance payment, cash gift, anything, you immediately transfer exactly $25 into what I call your vault. Not $50, not whatever's left over, $25. Here's why this works when nothing else does. It's not about the math, it's about the psychology. $25 is small enough that it doesn't trigger panic, but it's significant enough that your brain registers the action. Every time you do this, you're creating a neural pathway that says, when I get paid, I am someone who invests first. You're building financial confidence, the kind of confidence that lets you say no to bad opportunities because you have breathing room. And look, I know $25 doesn't sound life-changing, but here's the thing. $25 every 2 weeks is $650 a year. In 2 years, that's $1,300 without even counting interest or growth. But more importantly, you've now executed this action 52 times. Your brain has been reprogrammed. The pressure valve. Your first milestone is $2,000. This isn't savings, this is your emergency pressure valve, the buffer that keeps you out of the struggle tier of banking. You know what an overdraft fee is? It's a $35 charge for being $5 short. If you had to borrow that $5 for 2 weeks, that's a 16,000% APR. Payday loans? Legal loan sharks. They want you to not have $2,000 saved because that desperation is their business model. This $2,000 shield is what separates someone who can think clearly about money from someone making decisions out of panic. Get to $2,000. Protect it like a fortress. This is your financial immune system. Phase 2, the infrastructure, money plumbing. Once you have your emergency shield, we need to build the plumbing system that makes wealth automatic. Forget budgeting. That word makes you feel restricted. We're not restricting, we're architecting. The 4-tank system. Every dollar that comes in flows through 4 tanks. Tank 1, the iron vault, 60%. Fixed costs, rent, utilities, minimum debt payments, non-negotiable survival. Tank 2, the time machine, 20%. Investments, index funds, skills. This is the money you're sending to your future self. Tank 3, the fun tank, 10%. Guilt-free spending, concerts, coffee, video games, whatever keeps you sane. Critical, if you don't budget for joy, you'll burn out and blow the whole system. Tank 4, the stability buffer, 10%. Repairs, unexpected expenses, medical bills. This protects the system from shocks. Notice what's not in this system? Hoping. You're not hoping you'll have money left over to invest. The system forces it. The 30-day waiting list. This is how you kill lifestyle creep, the silent wealth killer. Lifestyle creep is when you get a raise and immediately upgrade your apartment, your car, your wardrobe. Your expenses rise to match your income and you're still broke. Here's the rule. Any non-essential purchase over $100 goes on a 30-day waiting list. You write it down, you wait 30 days. If you still want it and you can afford it from the fun tank, buy it guilt-free. 80% of the time, you forget about it. That's how you separate desire from need. That's how you stop dopamine-driven spending from stealing your future. These aren't restrictions. This is architecture. You're building the infrastructure that makes wealth inevitable. Phase 3, the velocity, the 2-3-5 principle. This is where you go from surviving to building momentum. The 2-3-5 principle is your timeline to financial freedom. Years 1 to 2, the foundation, the invisible years. This is where most people quit because it feels like nothing is happening. You're putting away $500 a month. Your account grows slowly. It doesn't feel exciting. But here's what's actually happening. You're planting seeds. You're building the habit loop. You're creating the system. This is the most important phase because without this foundation, everything else collapses. Pillar 5, low-fee index funds, S&P 500. You're putting that 20% from the time machine into low-fee index funds. Target fees under 0.1%. Vanguard VOO, Fidelity FXAIX, Schwab SWPPX. Why index funds? Because you're not smarter than the market. Neither am I. Neither is anyone. But the S&P 500 has returned about 10% annually over the last century. You're buying a piece of the 500 biggest companies in America. And here's why fees matter. 0.1% fee over 30 years equals $600,000 final value. 1% fee over 30 years equals $480,000 final value. That 0.9% difference stole $120,000 from your future. Fees are silent killers. Avoid them like poison. Now here's where you accelerate beyond the typical timeline. In 2026, YouTube is still the single greatest wealth-building opportunity for regular people. Your job pays you once for your time. A YouTube video pays you forever. You make a video in 2026, it earns $5 a month. Doesn't sound like much, right? But 100 videos at $5 a month is $500 a month. Passive, forever. You're building an asset that earns while you sleep. Years 3 to 5, the multiplication. This is where the magic happens. By year 3, if you've been investing $500 a month at 10% returns, your contributions are $18,000. Your account value is around $20,500. That extra $2,500, your money made that, not you. Your system did. By year 5, your contributions are $30,000. Your account value is around $38,600. That's $8,600 your money earned. That's more than some people save manually in 2 years. Year 5, the explosion. This is the year your money rivals your contributions. Your money is now working as hard as you are. And once you cross 100,000, that's when gravity takes over. Phase 4, the tipping point, breaking the $100,000 beast. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, once said, "The first $100,000 is a bitch." Here's why the first $100,000 is an inflection point mathematically. At 8% return, $10,000 makes you $800 a year. $50,000 makes you $4,000 a year. $100,000 makes you $8,000 a year. $8,000 a year, that's $666 a month. Your money is now contributing more than most people can manually save. The snowball effect. Once you hit 100,000, gravity takes over. Your contributions are still important, but now your returns are doing heavy lifting. 100K to 200K is faster than... To get from $0 to $100,000 may take 10 years, but $200,000 to $300,000 is faster than $100,000 to $200,000. This is the difference between linear growth, your job, and exponential growth, your system. Workers grow linearly. Architects grow exponentially. Let me show you why starting today is non-negotiable. Person A starts investing at age 25, invests $500 monthly until age 35, 10 years, then stops, never adds another dollar. At age 65, around $600,000. Person B waits, starts investing at age 35, invests $500 monthly until age 65, 30 years. At age 65, around $350,000. Let that sink in. Person A invested for 10 years and stopped. Person B invested for 30 years. Person A has $250,000 more. That's the delay penalty. Time is your most valuable asset. You can't buy it back. Before we finish, let me hit you with the numbers that prove why the just save it in the bank advice is financial suicide. The inflation math. You put $1,000 in a regular savings account. Bank interest 0.5% equals $5 a year. Inflation rate in 2026 average 3% equals $30 loss in purchasing power. Net result, you're down $25 every year. After 10 years, your $1,000 is worth $744 in real purchasing power. You didn't spend it. Inflation stole it. The 25-year comparison. Regular savings account with $500 monthly deposited at 0.5% interest, $157,000. Investment account S&P 500 with $500 monthly at 10% return, $602,000. That's a $445,000 difference. Same contributions, different system. One path keeps you working until you're 70. The other path gives you options at 35. All right, let's bring this home. Calculate your freedom number. Your freedom number is simple. Monthly expenses times 300 equals your freedom number. That's 25 years of expenses using the 4% withdrawal rule. If you need $2,000 a month to live, $600,000. If you need $3,000 a month to live, $900,000. If you need $5,000 a month to live, $1.5 million. The rule of 72. This tells you how fast you'll get there. Take 72 and divide by your annual return rate. At 8% return, 72 divided by 8 equals 9 years to double your money. At 10% return, 72 divided by 10 equals 7.2 years to double. At 12% return, 72 divided by 12 equals 6 years to double. If you hit 100K by year 5 and your money doubles every 7 years, year 5, 100K, year 12, 200K, year 19, 400K, year 26, 800K. You're free before you turn 50. Most people are just hitting their peak earning years at 50. You're done. This isn't a fantasy. This is architecture. You're not working harder. You're not getting lucky. You're building a system that makes wealth inevitable. The question isn't, can I do this? The question is, do I start today or do I pay the delay penalty? Here's your action plan. Step 1. Start the $25 habit today, right now. Set the transfer. Step 2. Calculate your freedom number. Step 3. Open a brokerage account and buy your first index fund share. Step 4. Use the rule of 72 to map your doubling timeline. Now I want to hear from you. What's your freedom number? Drop it in the comments. And if you're ready to stop being a passenger in the financial system and start being the architect of your life, hit subscribe. Because in 2026, the biggest risk isn't trying and failing. It's never starting at all. See you in the next blueprint.